Dolan Cummings, you've been to debates, speaking debates here at Politiken about tolerance and cultural wars, almost. And you're the editor of a British magazine called Cultural Wars, right?
That's right.
How do you see the Danish debate on immigration and integration? Is it unique in Europe?
I don't think it's unique. I'm sure there are elements that are particular to Denmark as there are in other countries, but I think there is a general trend happening throughout Europe where there's anxiety about immigration and about people not having the same kind of values. I think certainly in Denmark it seems that there's a more explicit sense that multiculturalism on the British model is not a model that Danes want to follow, or that it seems to be problematic in some ways, and I think that's true to a large extent. But I think that some of the same problems in terms of what do you do there, how do you respond to cultural difference, are the same in Denmark and the UK.
So how do you see the debate in Denmark progressing?
It's hard to predict these things in politics, but I do think it's a healthy thing that people are willing to talk about it. And I think certainly there was a mood in the room today to move beyond some of the scaremongering and to be more constructive in how we discuss cultural difference. Also to recognise that it's not having such a devastating effect on Danish society as might be thought. I would also suggest that there are social divisions, conflicts and disagreements over values that have nothing to do with ethnicity or immigration. And I think we ought to be discussing those in their own terms. And that's something that affects all Danes, rather than being something that has to be talked about defensively.
Economic decline, it could be one of the reasons behind certainly problems between communities and racial problems,
Yeah. Certainly that's been the experience in the UK, and the areas where there have been high tensions between different ethnic groups have been places that are run down. But that does suggest that the solution is not at the level of culture, in fact, that the solution is coming up with a solution to that problem of economic decline.
And as a political solution, the politicians should be dealing with that rather than the culture.
I think yes. I mean, there's a general tendency, I think, to look for a scapegoat, and it's a classic of politics in the 20th century, that there's economic problems you blame around immigration. But I think that we've got to learn from that by now and recognise that it's actually, if we have perhaps more people willing to play a role in Danish society, that might actually be a good thing for the Danish economy, rather than seeing it as a problem.
One last point, you mentioned multiculturalism as perhaps a word that should be killed off.
Yes, I think multiculturalism means different things to different people, and it's sort of uncontroversial if by multiculturalism you mean people come from different cultures and different languages and eat different food and so on. There's really no need to discuss that. But when it does mean different values about something like gender equality or gay rights, or even about attitudes to authority, then I think it has to be confronted. I don't think we should be afraid. And sometimes there's been a tendency to worry that if we have these discussions that it's going to be an outpouring of racism. But I think we need to move beyond that and be tolerant of other people's values while recognising that they're different. It doesn't mean that they're equal. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. And tolerance implies disagreement, in fact.
So be tolerant of the intolerant?
I think so. I think that's an important step to make. And it's also giving a lead as well, because if you meet intolerance with intolerance, then it's a vicious circle. I think it's important to be able to take a step away from it and say, actually, autonomy is a value in itself. That something like free speech, you can offend me, I'm going to let you continue offending me. And actually, I think people can learn from that and see that something like free speech could be used constructively. And that goes for autonomy more generally, which suggests to me that tolerance is more of a solution than intolerance.
Dolan Cummings, thank you very much indeed. This is Michael Laine for the Copenhagen Voice.